Welcome to Glorious Botafogo, your number one source of Botafogo news in English. And to start the video, I want to thank our partners there at Foot Fanatics because we are back on with Foot Fanatics, and I've gotten some pretty cool shirts. And actually, look, when I was looking at this one online, it looked good, but it looks even better in person. I want to see this Botafogo shirt that they have, but look at the detail. I don't know if you can tell the detail on the shirt there. It is pretty cool, man, with the golden lines across. Very cool shirt. I got this one for myself, and I got this one for my son. My son also got one of these. I love when Botafogo stuff comes in different colors. I saw this one, and I'm like, I have to have this. So there it is. Just another Botafogo. Because, hey, I would have a Botafogo shirt of every single color to go with every single clothes or shoes that I have. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but I have a lot of Botafogo clothes. This one came from Foot Fanatics, not on this shipment. These two came in the shipment. And also this 1962 replica of Newton Santos shirt that's been out for a little bit, but I have never gotten it. Right there, number 6 on the back. It's got Newton Santos right there. It's got the 1962 Carioca champions back-to-back. It's got the old school Botafogo badge on there. But all in all, it is a really cool shirt. I can't wait to wear this for an upcoming video, which I will sure be doing. And one more thing that I have to reach for, and I'm going to show you. Right here, I got these Botafogo sandals, also from Kenner. Botafogo and Kenner have a partnership where they do, or they did, I don't know if they're still going, but they did this really cool sandals, and I got them, and they're going right here on my feet, so I can be completely decked out with Botafogo here, head to toe, literally head to toe. Now let's talk about what's happening with Botafogo and what's happening at Eagle Football. First of all, Botafogo has qualified for the knockout stages of the Club World Cup, and we're facing none other than Palmeiras. Palmeiras has been a team that over and over again has been in our path. We're going to play them in the Brasileirão. We're going to play them in Libertadores, and now we are playing them in the Club World Cup. So if there is any other way to increase the importance of this matchup, to increase the rivalry, to increase the mythos of Botafogo versus Palmeiras, is to exactly this, is to add a Club World Cup matchup between these two Brazilian giants. So it's going to be a crazy match. It's going to be this upcoming Saturday at 11 a.m. Central, 1 p.m. Brazil time. And this match will be happening in Philadelphia at the Lincoln Financial Field. Yep, Lincoln Financial Field, the stadium there at Philly, the champions of the NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles were the NFL champions. Botafogo paid a visit to their training grounds, actually, because they are training at the Philadelphia Training Center. Botafogo is using their fields, and Botafogo is using their weight room and the whole facility. And there was even a meetup between Botafogo players and wide receiver Brown. They exchanged shirts and they put the trophy side by side. It was pretty cool to see. So Botafogo and Palmeiras, it's once again, so it's going to be a matchup that not only all of Brazil will be watching, but all of the world was watching. And the winner of this matchup is going to get bragging rights for a while. So come on, Botafogo, let's get this one, because we cannot let the little piggies get this victory. And the way the Botafogo got through the Club World Cup was by playing Atletico Madrid, which came at a 1-0 loss for Botafogo. But because at the end, since it was all tied up and it came to direct matchups, PSG had beaten Atletico Madrid, Botafogo had beaten PSG, Botafogo and PSG move on. So we did our part, we did our homework. Atletico Madrid didn't. Some of their fans were on the internet crying about referee and this and that. Not Jeremy. Jeremy came over on my DMs and said, hey, man, good luck, good game. Good luck. I'll be rooting for you guys in the next round. And that's how it's got to be. There was, in my opinion, no penalty kicks, nothing of the sort that the ref didn't give Atletico Madrid. It was a fair and square victory that came off of a mistake of Botafogo's defensive system that just kind of panicked, and the ball was left to Griezmann wide open at the end of the match, and they got 1 goal, but not enough because they needed 3 to get the goal differential on the club. So that's that. We're through. And now we can see that the other side, where there's PSG and Inter Miami and Flamengo and Bayern, that side is stacked. Botafogo side doesn't look as stacked. So if we beat Palmeiras, we could possibly play Benfica or Chelsea. And on the other side, there's Fluminense and Juventus. So it's looking better on our end. So we will see. But we'll talk about it when we get there. Now, the really important thing about this one, and some Botafogo fans may not think that this is the most important topic of this video, but it is. This is the most important thing I'm going to talk about in this video. Olympique Lyonnais got relegated to the French second division, to the Ligue 2. Olympique Lyonnais got relegated to the second division of French football. How is that important, and how does that affect Botafogo? In Ligue 2, the club will get less TV revenue share. The price of the tickets for the matches aren't as extravagant. They're going to be way cheaper. The players that they will get in Ligue 2 are not going to be up to par to really represent the colors of Olympique Lyonnais, which is a major club in France, and a club like OL should never be playing Ligue 2 and should always have players of stature to put on the shirt, to put on the badge, and fight for titles. The decision came after the DNCG refused or rejected John Textor's and Eagle Football's paperwork and proof that they had the necessary funds to be able to keep the club not only afloat, but be able to do all of its obligations, financial obligations for the season. In that report, Eagle Football put different kinds of sales of players and achievements or whatsoever, and the DNCG rejected 3 or 4 of those that only put the total amount that they had available to be used at 135 million euros when they needed to have 175 or 170. They rejected the sale of Crystal Palace. They rejected the sale of Luis Enrique. They rejected something else that I can't recall right now. But to me, it seems like one of 2 things, or one of a few things. Number 1, John Textor was given a time bomb, like Alice just gave him a grenade, removed the pin, and just walked away. 2, Eagle Football does not have the necessary capital and financial health to be able to support clubs like Botafogo, Olympique Lyonnais together. 3, there's got to be something going on behind the scenes that is causing them to be extra tough and extra diligent on Olympique Lyonnais. Well, should they be diligent? Yes, of course. But to what point? To what point do you continue to be so diligent to a point where it's almost, how can I say, it just doesn't seem like natural. I don't know if that's the right word. Because it seems to me that over and over and over, John Textor and Eagle Football have tried to make things work, and they're just not working. So I'm not sure what else John Textor needs to do. I've read something today that Eris Group is actually on its way to take control of Olympique Lyonnais from John Textor. Guys, if this happens, this is really bad. If they take control and oust John Textor from Olympique Lyonnais, this is bad, because Eris management can go ahead and put their hands in the entire pool of money, because remember, Eagle Football is just one pot now. And they can take funds from Botafogo because it's all in the same pot. And let me just also say this, because I don't want Olympique Lyonnais fans saying that I'm not being hard on Textor, or that we Botafogo fans are not being hard on Textor on his obligations of Botafogo. The club has yet to release the financial reports from last year. They were due in April. Where are they? Why is there such a delay on this? Why has Eagle football gone through so many financial difficulties that is getting to this point? Getting a club like OL relegated is the hole much deeper than we thought. This is very important because it directly affects us. Because if they take a lot of cash out of that pool for the season, the second half of the season for Botafogo and the beginning of the season for Olympique Lyonnais can be disastrous in terms of money, in terms of financial solvency, in terms of having the money to be able to pay its obligations. Now, the club is making a lot of money in this Club World Cup for the matches that we won in the group stage, for getting promoted to the knockout stage. And if we win the knockout stage, there's a lot of money involved. So this is not only a sporting victory from John Textor, but it's also a huge financial victory from John Textor that will allow us to stay stable for the rest of the year. And I've talked about this here and there. I haven't really made it that public yet, or maybe I have. I just haven't shined a light on it. But I'm starting to think that Eagles football presence in France might be detrimental to the entire thing. If I was John Textor, I would sell Olympique Lyonnais. There's so much stuff going on. And I think it has gotten to a point where the supporters, the ones that used to hate him, now have all the ammunition. The ones that were on the fence are no longer on the fence. They are now with the rest of the supporters that hate John Textor. And the ones that like John Textor are now on the fence or have either gone completely to the other side. He is not going to have an easy life at Olympique Lyonnais from this point on. The ultras hate him. The supporters do not like him. The French league and all of its politics behind it don't like him. It seems to me that John Textor needs to learn how to hang up his cowboy hat and really give this a really hard look. If you sell Olympique Lyonnais, you can try to get a club somewhere else. Try to get a club in Spain. Try to get a club in either the Premier League or the Championship. Maybe try to get a club in Italy. Try to get a club in Portugal. But it seems like to me, try to get an MLS club. But it seems like to me that the situation in France, not just at Olympique Lyonnais, but in France, is no longer sustainable. If I was John Textor, I would get the hell out of there. If you got in here so far, please leave a like and let me know in the comments what you think about this whole situation of highs and lows for Botafogo. If you are a Olympique Lyonnais fan and you're watching this, I'm sure that you're not happy with John Textor. I'm sure that you're not happy with Botafogo. I'm sure you're not to see the success. I'm sure you're not happy with this whole Eagle football thing. So your comment is valid, whether you don't agree with the whole thing or not. Your comment is valid, so post it below. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share. If you were on X, don't forget to repost so more people can see this this really great time that Botafogo is having. But let's also not forget the tough time that other clubs in Eagle football are having that are worth the discussion. And the owner should be able to clearly communicate with the supporters of the clubs that he owns about what the future looks like from here on out.